Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Game of Thrones recap. I am B.
And I'm Chick. And what an episode.
That was an episode, huh? I don't know what the hell happened.
I thought it was a great episode. I was very, very pleased with that one. I thought so much stuff happened that I loved.
The name of this episode should have been...
Did you read what the name,
what was the name
of the episode was? It was called... Game of Thrones 69 or some shit like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Arya?
Yeah, it was. It was something weird. I think it was because Arya got her
Who
boots
knows?
knocked.
I think then it should have been
Arya
called
knocking them boots.
Everybody's pretty sure we're going to die. Because that's all... They were just preparing to die. That's all they were doing.
I was just going to say, the whole entire time, everybody's talking about dying.
We all know you're smoking, Tommy.
Yep, that's all. So, basically... Everybody knows after last week, the first one, the night walkers are coming. The dead are on their way to Winterfell. And we find out in this episode that they're a little less than a day away. And it's basically a preparation before war. And everybody's last nights. Woo! I was trying not to cough on here, but it was
is
bound to
Easter
happen.
Sunday, by the way.
It is.
We're
It's
coming
Easter
in
Sunday.
hot.
Exactly. We are coming in hot. Happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah.
But, so basically... They start the episode right off with Jaime Lannister trial. What'd you think of that?
The Jaime Lannister trial.
That was a kind of a trial, right?
Oh, yeah. So, all right.
You forgot the episode
Yes.
already?
Yes, I told you this.
So
I don't take information. It comes and it goes.
It comes and it goes. I was
I
hoping
wrote down.
for a quick beheading of Jaime Lannister. Even though I like him as a character, I would have loved to seen, like, you didn't see it coming with Ned Stark in the first season after he, basically bent to the knee and said he wasn't going to cause any more bullshit, and everybody was pleading for his life, and then Joffrey just hit him with the
You're
do it
right.
anyway. I thought that was going to happen, or something quick and swift, and it was just going to be like, oh my God, they just beheaded Jaime Lannister.
That would have been a wow moment where I would have been like, okay, here we go.
That's exactly what I
Game
was
of
saying.
Thrones final
It would have
season
been a
is hitting
total
us.
wow moment.
You're right.
But they didn't do it.
They didn't.
Brienne
Brienne of Tarth.
She's just a good person. She's like the female Ned Stark.
Yeah.
And she stuck her neck out. Tyrion came to his defense. And Bran chose to just drop the one-liner.
What a line.
What a
By the
line.
way, if they don't put the previously on Game of Thrones thing, I totally wouldn't remember that from episode 1.
Oh, really?
season
I mean,
1.
I've watched it so
Yeah,
much that I
really?
remember
Yeah,
that.
I could barely remember that he had a thing going on.
That's so
a
true.
trial. Yeah, really. So that was perfect. That's why I always make sure I have to
He
watch.
only said that, and he didn't say anything else. He kind of kept his mouth shut because he didn't want to basically tell everybody exactly what happened. He just said that
wanted
one
to let
line.
Jamie know.
He wanted Jamie to know that he remembered, but, him not talking, I think, kept them... Like, I was surprised that Sansa didn't want to kill him, but she knows that they need as many people as they can get.
Yeah. Bran looked at him with his creepy eyes, third crow
He is
eye.
such a creepy, weird person.
He really is. And I don't mean to put down the disabled, but gross.
Well, I don't think he's really disabled.
Okay, whatever he is. he was like, I just want to let you know that I know.
He's pretty badass, though.
He is?
As decrepit and as weird as he is. He's like a fucking he's got it all coming for him.
Yeah. I don't know. He's a creep to me. What a... By the way, the hairstyle on Jaime Lannister, he was a real blonde.
I was just going to say,
He's
I
like,
know it's
what
a long
happened?
trip to Winterfell, but where'd all the gray come from? How was it?
But
How
it's
much
not-
time passed?
It's not even gray. It's like dark. Like,
Well, yeah, it's like he got his. I mean,
it's like he got his highlights taken out.
I mean, I feel like even after people do highlight their hair, even in like the summer, and when
Yeah.
they get into it always stays in there a little bit through the fall.
Yeah.
That trip cannot be that long. What
No.
happened to Jaime Lannister's hair color?
It's the weirdest thing ever.
It is.
It's like, I don't know. I don't
That's
get
not
that.
something to stress on. It really doesn't bother me.
No.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I
until you
spent 15
just
minutes
mentioned
looking at it. I'm like, what the hell
This
happened?
is why you don't understand what's going on in the show.
Because I pick one little thing. I'm like, wow, he was a blonde bombshell, and now he's like, he's got brown hair.
And he's brown and gray and looks like he's a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's just got that whole
He looks like he's sending his
and now
daughter
he's,
off to college.
which I also like. So they let him off the hook basically, and now he's whatever. He's just one of the people now, and he humbles himself and goes to talk to Brienne, and he says he'll fight for her.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very cool moment.
Well, Brienne stood up for him.
Yes, she did.
So,
but
I mean,
he loved her and him have that long history of traveling together, and he did lose his hand. I don't buy that he lost it for her. Those guys were cutting his hands off regardless.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember that whole scene. What happened?
When Caitlyn Stark let when Caitlyn Stark let Brienne take Jaime back to the King's Landing because she wanted... She let Brienne take Jaime Lannister. But did I say something else?
I thought you said Sansa, but
I did, and then I changed it. But whatever.
Brienne, I'm full of ham and soda pop, if you know what I mean.
Caitlyn Stark wanted to let Jaime go back there because she thought she would get back her daughters, maybe showing like a good faith thing, and she took her there. And on their way back to King's Landing, I forget who it was. I forget the family. I'm sorry, it passes me. But either way, they were stopped by a group of people who hated the Lannisters, and they wound up cutting off his hand.
But did they try to get with Brienne?
They were. They all. I actually think they might have succeeded and raped her at some point.
Oh,
but
okay.
That's
all right.
when,
So, yeah.
And then Jaime did go in there, I think, and try and defend her and stuff. So it was a whole. Then he went back to get her when he fought the bear. When they were about to fight the fucking bear.
Jeez, I don't
But whatever.
remember.
We're getting way off. That was like
sorry.
seasons ago. We're talking about like season 4 or something.
Surprised you don't know the family. I thought I was getting involved with a guy that really knew the Game of Thrones, but you don't even know the family that tried to rape Brienne of Tarth.
I forget. I'm sorry. It's passing me mind. I didn't prepare for that right now, and I don't have like a whole lineage in front of me.
When you're sitting across me, prepare for anything, my friend.
Prepare for anything.
I'll throw.
But what I also love is right after they let Jaime go, that Khaleesi gave it to Tyrion because he's done nothing but fuck up.
Tyrion. Oh yes.
He's done nothing but fuck up since he's landed at Westeros.
Yeah. What'd she say? Like you said your sister was something?
Well, he basically said believed his sister when she was lying to him, and he fell for fucking bullshit that she was going to send her army up north, and she didn't.
Yeah.
But he's fucked up with the battle planning. He's not a fighter. He makes a mistake at everything, every like turn. He's making mistakes since he's been there, and she's near. I have a feeling there might be a new hand of the queen, if we even have a queen. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Right.
Comes the time.
Tyrion. So you're saying you think Tyrion sort of coasted his way to this?
No, I don't think he's coasted his way. I think he's earned everything he's got, but he's just made a lot of mistakes so far.
He's got a great mind, as they said.
Well, like Jorah was telling Daenerys, people make mistakes, you live and learn. Yeah. So hopefully he learns. But I told you, part of me when he left last season, when he left that little talk with his sister, I thought there was something up his sleeve. I don't know if I still think that, but
you think
all these mistakes do lead you to think that maybe him and his sister had a little trick up their sleeves.
Interesting.
They never showed how the conversation finished, and then they just show him and his sister walking back.
Chick, you got thoughts, man. I didn't think you had it in you.
Shut up.
I thought that head was hollow. And
so that stuff was great.
But
then Snow's boys, how great was it when he saw? Because then right after they have that whole stuff with Khaleesi and letting Lannister off the hook, they go back and they're just hanging out in Winterfell, and then they see Tormund. What was that guy's name? Edison Tollett is the guy's name from the Night's Watch.
Which one is that guy?
The guy with the long hair.
Bald, but long hair.
Well, yeah, balding
skinny.
In the front with long hair.
I know that guy.
That's Snow's right-hand man.
Yeah.
Edison Tollett. Him, Tormund, and Beric get back from Eastwatch, or, where the Umbers got killed. At the end of last episode, when they fucking
the wall,
weird
right?
sign. Well, yeah, they were right. There was an Eastwatch, which was like right before the wall.
Yeah.
But they're back. And then as he's going to give that dude a hug, Tormund comes in for the bear hug. I love Tormund. This whole episode, he made me laugh.
Oh my God. How he's real sweet on Brienne of Tarth. Huh?
Oh, he loves Brienne Tarth. It loves her, and he's loved her since I forget what season he met her. He's been in love with her the tall, but he loves that she's so big, and he wants to have mammoth-sized bababies. And I just love how he flirts.
That's what he just wants, big babies.
Being a fucking savage is how he flirts.
Yeah.
Like the things when he's explaining how he became, how he got his name. Oh, that story is great.
Yeah.
He killed the giant, and then he was sucking on the giant's wife's tit,
So that's
and he drank the milk of a giant.
So he explained, he goes, he was trying to hit on her. He goes, I got so big because I sucked on a giant's tit for 3 months or something.
After he killed
That's
her
how he-
husband. And then he downs the fucking, he's drinking out of the elephant's tusk, it looked like.
Yeah.
And it's all falling all over him. And she's just looking at him like, what the fuck?
And he's
But that
like,
shit
I
was
like
great.
a hottie with armor on the body.
But when they first got there, they basically tell Snow, listen, we got until the night, until the end of the night. Before the sun comes up tomorrow, they're going to be here.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's get a move on this. And you notice when he just like walked away from Khaleesi too? Because then they had, basically after he tells him that, he tells him that the Umbers are dying. I mean, there was so many great
Who's the Umbers?
conversations.
I'm sorry.
Okay, in the last episode when they with the Umber, right in the beginning when they're at like council,
Yeah.
and that little boy comes and says they're not, his family's not at Winterfell yet for the battle because they don't have enough carriages and horses. So they said they'll send them more to go get him. At the end of that episode, that was the boy that was killed. Or it might not have been him, but it was his family.
So
that
the
was
Umbers
killed.
is a family?
Yeah, they were a family that is in the north that pledged allegiance to the Snows. Well, not the Snows.
I
the
pledge
Starks.
allegiance to the Starks.
I said the Snows, not the Starks. All the, whatever.
Who even is a Snow at this point, right? Do we know who the Snow is?
There's no more Snows, basically.
Yeah, ain't
One's
no-
dead, and he was put into a Bolton anyway. And then this guy's Snow is basically an Aegon Targaryen, which is, I love that whole shit. But basically, they tell them that they're coming. So then they have the whole battle plan, and that's what I love.
That was cool. I like that.
that whole battle.
That made me
scene-
understand. I'm like, oh, look at that. Huh?
Well, that's great because the battle plans with Snow and Khaleesi's
By the way,
there,
can I
Sansa's
just
there. What?
interject? I don't like your notes. I don't like that you're going off your notes.
I'm not. I just want to make sure I don't forget anything because last week I forgot a couple things.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you
And
should
that's all I
remember.
said.
Because you keep going back and you're stopping and it's bothering me.
Well, you know what? Don't let it bother you, you fucking idiot. I just want to make sure I have a nice sound that we don't pass up anything.
Okay.
Because last time I missed the whole flying of dragons,
We
which I
definitely
loved
did.
last
Yes.
episode.
We missed that.
And a lot of people, I had a lot of people like, oh, there was no need for that. I thought that scene was
There's
fucking
no need
awesome.
for Jon Snow flying the dragon.
Well,
Let's
no,
speak
but
to
with
that. What-
Khaleesi for like, there was people were getting mad that there was like a 5-minute scene of the dragons flying.
Yeah.
Like there was no point of that. They did it for too long. I thought it was awesome. I loved it.
I liked
I don't understand why they wouldn't. Plus, it was to show that he's a Targaryen. He could fly the dragon.
Oh, I didn't know that only Targaryens could fly dragons.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is apparently that only Targaryens could touch and get real close to dragons and ride them.
Oh, you see? All right. Good. I'm glad I interjected on that.
Well, it's good, but I love it. And the battle planning, they got Khaleesi there, they have Sansa there, Tyrion, Theon, Davos is there, Samwell. They're all putting in their fucking 2 cents, and they basically are decide when all's said and done that they're gonna put Bran as bait. Bran tells them he's the Night King's trying to kill me.
Yeah.
The only way they're going to beat them, because there's so many of them, is to actually kill the Night King, because then they'll all die. So they want to use him for bait, and I think they were talking about putting him by that red tree.
Yeah.
And only having like Theon as the ones who are going to protect him.
Theon Greyjoy.
Theon Greyjoy.
Now-
He's back,
Now,
baby.
listen, you brush past that. You're like, they're only going to put him out for bait and have Theon. Theon volunteered to put himself out there.
Because he's trying to make up for
Theon-
being a disaster.
Right.
Of a
He was a
person.
disaster.
I still don't know if I like him, but I'm glad he's starting to put himself out there. He needs to go. I wish he dies.
How could you say that?
Because he deserves
This
to
guy
die
is
at this point.
stepping up.
And he should, but people need to go, and he's one I'm choosing
This should be
for.
your idol. Theon Greyjoy should be Chick's idol. He's screwed up in the past. He's made a few mistakes.
I guess he could. You trying to tell me I'm Theon Greyjoy?
Maybe. But,
I don't know if I like that.
Give a different
I don't know if
build.
I like to compare. I have a different build. Yeah, and I have balls and a
right.
cock.
You have a lot of things. But maybe learn by him. Step up to the plate once in a while. It's time. I
You know
spent
what
enough.
it took for him? It took him fucking 7 seasons basically to step up, and almost to the last episode of last season before he finally went and got his sister back.
And what's it going to take for you?
That's
I
so
have a
great.
question about Theon Greyjoy. What was that warm embrace with him and Sansa?
He helped Sansa basically get out of the Bolton grasp, and you know what I mean. He basically rescued her,
Okay, yeah.
so she loves him now. She's
right.
got a little bond with him.
Which first, originally,
She wasn't a big fan of him
because
because
he
they
took
all
off-
thought that he took over Winterfell.
Yeah, he was such a dick back then. You forget about that.
It was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He killed those 2 little farm boys, and he told everybody it was the Stark boys. So that's why all
Yeah.
the family hated him, even though he didn't kill them.
What a jerk.
But it was he's the reason why Bolton wound up there.
Okay.
And Bolton then raped his sister. And he still watched it happen because he was so fucking mind-struck.
Right.
Well, like fucking, what do you call that? Like when they
High off drugs, chick. Not forgetting what you just watched.
No, I'm just saying he was warped by
Okay.
by Bolton.
He was warped. Yeah, he was.
So he never stepped in and tried to do anything, even when his sister tried to escape him. That's why I'll never forgive Theon. He's a pussy.
All right.
He's just making up for things that he's fucked up.
I'm telling you, he's gonna
do something good.
He's already doing something good. He's gonna be a big part of.
I also
how this
like
ends.
how they all weren't happy about leaving Bran there, but they also not positive if the dragon fire can kill. I think it can kill the Night King. Maybe it can't, but they're not positive if it can, because the dragons never fought them. At least that they've brought up, or no one in none of these books. They don't know if the fire from the dragons is actually even gonna fucking work. Which is
Why
something to
wouldn't
think about?
it? It should work.
It should work. Fire does kill them, but they're just saying it's never been done, so they just can't say for sure.
Now, hypothetically, a dragon throws fire out of his mouth to the Night King. It's under my understanding that whoever turns them dies after they get.
Yeah, exactly.
So if they
got turned by like one of those, if you kill one of those generals,
Right.
that's how they got them when they went beyond the
and
wall.
the whole group,
And the whole group
So
died.
if they get the Night King, then they get everybody.
Apparently, they
Is
get
that-
everybody. That's the theory.
Is that what we think right
That's
now?
what we're thinking.
That's what.
Yeah. Do you understand that? So, but I don't think it's just go for the generals and then go for the Night King. But you know what? We'll see what happens. And I feel like they're worried about all these numbers, right? Can't you just burn most of those things at least with the dragons? It was wiping them out when they were beyond the wall.
Right.
So,
But
they also say, because like, what does he even want? Why is he coming here? And it was interesting for him to say that he wants to kill Bran. I guess because he knows everything and he's basically the memory of Westeros.
Okay,
and
all
that's
right,
why they
all
were
right.
saying they want the long extended night.
back up the truck. What are you talking about? I missed this whole part.
So when they were doing discussing the battle scene,
Who?
all of those, like we were
Oh,
just
when they were in the
discussing when they were
castle?
in the castle and they're all discussing the battle about to happen. They're pre-planning for it, which I loved. If you looked on the board, the whole entire top was just the dead because they have so many of them. They just put it all across the top, and then it was like their small little army compared. But basically, they asked him why. What's his what's he want? Like, what's his purpose for coming? And a couple of sentences, he said he wants an endless night. And he wants to basically erase the memory of men. He wants to erase everybody.
Oh, okay.
So the part of the reason why I'm thinking, because I still think it's odd that he wants to go after Bran, but because he's the three-eyed raven, he could see everything. I guess he's like, you know what I mean?
He's like, I just want to go after the ugliest kid.
the ugliest kid in Westeros and Winterfell and kill him, and then I'm good.
The Night King has a thing for creepy, ugly
disabled boys.
I don't
Maybe
like
he's just a
ugly
dick who hates the
ducklings.
disabled.
Yeah, maybe that could be. It's like I just don't like wheelchairs.
I just don't like people in wheelchairs, and I just want to
They
kill
take
this
up
little
the
prey.
space right in front
He
of the
can
store.
control things. I don't like him one bit.
And he sees everything. I have a lot to
Oh,
hide.
that's great. But there was just so many conversations in this episode that I loved between fucking Arya and Rob's bastard in the beginning where she starts throwing the fucking knives on the wall. Tyrion and
I
Bran.
love that scene.
Now, Bran tells Tyrion everything that's... Because he asked him about his whole trip, right?
Yes.
So
Refresh
I'm
that.
imagining that Bran is basically going to tell Tyrion everything. So Tyrion probably knows who Snow is. He's going to know everything that Bran saw. Like, Tyrion's going to basically have a ton of knowledge after that conversation. We'll see if that comes into effect. I feel like that's going to mean that conversation means something. I feel like.
See, all right. This is the thing about Game of Thrones that confuses me, and the way you're looking at it, like, oh, maybe they did talk. So there's things that they could have talked about that we didn't even hear. What is
It's
this?
not a matter of that you didn't hear it. You know what Bran did and what he saw.
I know, but as
So
far
I
as
just feel like he's going to tell Tyrion everything, and maybe it becomes useful in some way or another.
I like a TV show. Remember Mad About You?
What? It was so simple. Just
It was
shows?
simple. It had a problem.
Then how do you like this
It had
show?
a conflict, and they resolved the conflict by the end of the show.
What about? You don't like thinking at all about it. I'm trying to think.
No.
Like, it's just like, so how'd you get into this?
Because everybody else did.
So it's just
The
you
same
hopped on your
reason why I
sheep.
have Facebook
You're
and
like
Instagram
sheep. Yeah,
and
you
Twitter.
just fall into the
Yes,
fucking.
I'm a sheep.
That makes me laugh. I also
No,
what?
I watched the first episode and I enjoyed it.
That's what I was
But
gonna say.
didn't know
Don't
I was
act like you didn't love it.
I didn't know. It's almost like if you go.
You could comprehend it. I just feel like you have ADD or something.
Yeah, I do.
where It's like you just get lost and you think about
started thinking
certain
about-
things and you're not even thinking about what you're watching.
Honestly, I spent 15
It's like a
minutes on
background show.
Lannister's hair. I'm just like, what the hell?
That's so great. I mean, there was so
Another
many great
thing-
scenes. You didn't like, what about Khaleesi when she talked to Sansa?
I love that.
That was a great scene. And then they get interrupted because Sansa wants to know, all right, this is great. I'm starting to like you a little bit. Shit's cool. All I really want to know is what's going to happen with us when you get on the throne. And
Who said that?
Sansa. Basically, what are you going to do with the North? They don't care about her taking over the fucking King's Landing. I was going to say East Landing. Yeah, King's Landing. And she don't care about that. The North people just want to be left alone in the North, bro.
Just leave me alone in
Leave
the
me the
North.
fuck alone. And I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe she could show some gratitude and just be like, you know what? I don't have to be that greedy. That's the problem with human beings. We're greedy.
Yeah.
And she can't even just say, you know what? You could have the North. I know that we'll be allies.
I've been
You're
eating
not
long
coming
enough,
after
dog.
me.
Stop being greedy.
Stop. But true. It's what it all comes down to. And she wasn't able to answer her, so that's another unopened. We'll see how that's going to all play out. But I love that. That was a great fucking a little few minutes there. Look what else you got.
Question
there.
for you. I
Let's
write
hear it.
down
I
a
was
bunch
just
of
gonna
notes
say,
too.
Let's hear questions.
The Unsullied. The Unsullied.
I knew you were gonna I had a feeling you were gonna bring up something
Why?
about this because you're just wondering how him and Missandei are just so intimate and
Not
you can't
only
bang
that,
her. They're
did
not
you
gonna have
watch it?
kids.
Did you watch it?
What?
The Unsullied are supposed to not have penises.
They don't have penises.
I saw a package. They don't do a good job of concealing.
You know what? That's an episode. Like that's one of those follies that you see on shows, and you have. To
That's a
show me
folly?
that. When they have like fuck ups from like the props person.
See, that's the problem. I only pay attention to the follies.
That
Dude,
is the
you can
problem.
totally see two balls. I'm
don't-
telling you.
I didn't even like that. I'm not looking at the guy's crotch either, so I don't
like
understand how that even
all right,
happens. Let's
well,
get to the bottom
I'll
of that.
tell you how it because I can see how they dress them. They dress them almost in tights.
This is why you don't know anything. It is 100% why.
Right, maybe.
How many minutes did you did you spend looking at someone's crotch?
It was a few. I'll be honest, because it's the small things that get me. It's a small.
Apparently,
thing.
this isn't a small thing.
And I'm saying, it's not a small thing at all.
This guy had a big package.
Yeah, there was a package on an Unsullied, and it was there. I saw it. I seen it.
You seen it. I seen
Seen
it.
And so, no, I'll tell you why. This is why because I saw the Unsullied man. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
What's his
name is
name?
Grey Worm.
Grey Worm.
The guy who's talking to Missandei.
Yeah.
I like that whole thing too, man.
Name
He's
should be
brought it
Big
die,
Worm.
and they're about to go off to North after the war. Everybody's trying to make plans. You know what I liked? They didn't say they were going to die. They're like, after we win and I'm done fighting, where are we going?
Those guys did. Everybody else.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody else was
Everybody else was
talking
like,
about
we're gonna
dying.
die.
We're dying. We're dying.
Arya Stark's
But
like,
them.
listen, I'm gonna need to get it in before I die.
That's why. You know what? Is she the only person in that whole entire thing who's like, let me get fucked? Tormund's trying to, but he's just not succeeding.
Tormund's like, he's trying.
He's
How do I
trying
get
his
under
best.
that armor?
How's this savage try and get under that armor? Right. And now she's a knight. She's way out of his league.
That was a big thing. They
She
knighted
got
her.
knighted. Jamie Lannister knighted her, which is funny because he's fighting for her, but he's still such like a higher ranking person
Right.
that he's able to give her dream, which she says is not her dream. And Podrick looks pissed because he wants to be a knight.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have knighted Podrick too.
Yeah, but being a knight these days.
That whole thing was awesome.
They knighted Paul McCartney. They knighted Elton John. It's like
That's so knight Podrick. He could fight now. You see him training everybody in this episode
Who's
too.
that?
Podrick is Brienne's like right hand man.
the guy that sung the song.
Yes, he had a hell of a voice. He's got
Good
a big
voice.
cock. Remember when the prostitutes
Jeez.
didn't take the money?
No.
You don't remember nothing in this show. Tyrion,
You just said he had a big cock.
because here's the whole thing. You just said he had a big cock. Tyrion gives prostitutes. He pays them.
Oh yeah.
To go give to him to lose his virginity.
You're
or
right.
whatever
Now
it
I
is.
remember that. You're right.
And then the fucking prostitutes wind up giving him the money back, and they go on talking about it, and they enjoyed him so much that
that's
they
right.
did it for free.
Yeah, they're like,
So now he could fight. He could do that. He's had a project. He's a little DL fucking.
He's a man of many talents.
Man of many talents.
I-
And now he could sing.
I love that song, by the way.
It was actually not a bad song.
I got something out of it. I was like, oh man, that's good. I would love to have found it on the old Spotify or something.
They probably will have that.
Oh, it'll be there.
It'll be there, and God knows when it'll be.
I
there
would
in
love to have
minutes.
started this
I also
episode
like
with that
when
song.
they had the Snow doing like the narration, and as they're all getting ready. I love little montages and little scenes when they're like
too.
getting battle ready, and it's just like showing everything that's going on.
What would you do the night
About
before
them show-
battle?
Let's get. You know what? Let's go. I want to talk about it. There's all these great conversations, and we mentioned it about Arya getting her
Yeah.
fucking rocks off.
Yeah, Arya. By the way,
They
I think
showed-
they blurred out the nipples, right?
You know what? I'm trying to. No, they didn't blur it out, but they shot it in an angle where you didn't see it. But it did look like they blurred out where they might have protruded
like-
out. But maybe she doesn't have protruders.
You know what it looked like? It looks like she was wearing chicken cutlets. You know those things
oh,
that
those
women
things.
wear?
Yeah, no, it does.
Sometimes they get drunk
But
and
I'm
they fall
surprised
out
they
of the
showed
party.
as much of her body. I forget that she's older now. It's
Yeah.
almost creepy. Like, how old do you think
Yeah,
she really is?
I was like, I don't
I
know.
feel like is Podrick like how old is? What's the difference? Did it almost make you uncomfortable?
a little bit, yeah.
You think Podrick was almost uncomfortable? It's not Podrick. I'm sorry, Gendry.
Okay, yeah.
Gendry.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I don't know why I said Podrick.
were they friends when they were kids?
Who?
Gendry and
Gendry and Arya were friends when they were kids, kind of. But he was in that whole pack of people that were on their way up north after the kings got beheaded. And Arya spent a lot of time with Gendry and the fat kid who can make the fucking...
that's right.
all
Okay.
the fucking bread and
Whatever
all that
happened to
shit.
that fat kid?
He's somewhere working, making bread and what's the pie? What do they call the pie that
like,
they make?
pigeon pie. or
Pigeon pie, and he's fucking just making designs in his bread. That fat fuck. That's what he's
God,
doing.
don't you wish the fat guy got it from Arya instead of this?
Oh, I would have. Yeah, you know what? She should have got it
Let's
in with
make
him.
our own pigeon stew. Oh man,
But dude, she got it in. Arya's the most badass person in
she's
the
my
whole
favorite
entire-
character,
She's my favorite character too.
in all of Game of
She's
Thrones.
getting it in the night before war. She drinks a little bit. She tells people how it is, and she's fucking badass. And now she's got the sick weapon.
Watch her at the very end.
She's gonna kill Jaime.
Take a knife and kill one of the White Walkers' head.
She's gonna kill everything that comes near her. But they do show her in coming attractions running all over the place. But I'm just praying that something bad doesn't happen to her. Arya's my favorite on the show. I hope she fucking kills it. What's her name? Maisie something?
Maisie Williams.
Maisie Williams. That's it. She's the fucking best. I hope to see her in other shit. Even if it's not
She is
Arya.
in other stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but, I haven't paid attention to any of that yet. But, there was just so much good stuff in this episode. And now the White Walkers are there at the end. But we're also not talking about, we talked about a lot of stuff that happened, just a lot of the great conversations and the preparation for battle. But right before the White Walkers come, the conversation between Snow and Daenerys where he tells her who he is.
Yes.
She's not happy. She's not happy about anything that's going on right now. She's fighting for him, and she just feels like, I feel like she's feeling her
World
grasp at
collapsing?
yeah, exactly. It's collapsing.
I got to be honest.
But do you think she's worried about Snow? Because he don't want it.
I think I'm starting to turn.
I was
On her
thinking that,
too.
but I can't. I love her, and she's just putting. You know what? People. She came.
But maybe that's what they're doing. They're trying
They're
to make.
trying to do
they're
that,
trying to
and
make,
I won't buy into it. I still love my
yeah.
girl Khaleesi.
I got a weak mind, man. I think I'm turning on.
You know
her.
why? They're just trying to make her look like the bad guy because everybody else is trying to whatever, and she's still trying to flex her muscles, saying she's the queen, and everybody's got to bow to her. But now that everyone's like, well, you know what? Maybe you're not even supposed to be the queen.
Yeah.
You got fucking Aegon Targaryen.
Maybe you're not that
the sixth
cool
over
after
here.
all.
Yeah, maybe you're not that. But they're still, you know what? She still mothered those fucking dragons. If Snow takes
She
it from
mothered
her,
those dragons.
if Snow takes
Is
it
that
from
what you're gonna say
Khaleesi,
about your-
I'd be pissed.
If you ever have a family,
I'm so pro Snow, but I want to fucking him and her to do it, or she's gonna die. She's getting killed this season. That's it. I think that's what happens.
yeah, you called that. At this point, I don't know. Maybe I'm one of the weak-minded, and I've bought into the game of not liking her because I'm all about the others, and I'm all about Greyjoy too.
I'm not all about him. I can't.
know.
I respect what he's doing, but I'm
'Cause you
not
don't
all
like
about
your own
This
kind.
is probably one of the first episodes where Cersei wasn't in it at all, too.
That's the other thing.
They
about
didn't
that.
show
what was
anything.
Cersei doing?
Cersei's
Everybody's turned.
She said she's going to take over the rest of this place and then she's going to come there, and she's got a whole army at her back, and they didn't
No
show.
elephants.
You know what's basically going to happen? There's going to be 2 episodes. I don't think you're going to see Cersei next episode, too. Do you ever think? I mean, it's probably it's not going to happen. That's actually stupid. I almost was saying, do you think she's marching upward to try and battle them with the White Walkers almost, and going to just flee away from them?
How crazy would it be if when the White Walkers come, she's one of the White Walkers? Like she already got killed, huh?
Oh, like they had a no.
Huh?
Where do you come up with that? I don't like that. No, it's stupid.
What if that's the case, though?
What is that? I don't know if you ask these things. What if? I don't know what happens if that's the case. That would be interesting.
Nobody knows what if. That's why that's why we listen. That's why we watch.
You know, another scene that also
Tell
this
me.
episode, probably the last thing that I really thought was awesome this week.
Yeah.
Was the whole time they tell you, you got Jorah Mormont left, you have Lord Mormont, who's the commander of the
Who are
Night's
they
Watch.
again?
They're also a Northern family.
But what do they look like?
The commander of the North was the guy who got killed by the.
Oh,
the
they're
Night-
dead already?
Well, he is. Jorah Mormont is the guy who had grayscale, who Sam just saved.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Khaleesi's.
Yeah, I like that
he's
guy.
obsessed with Khaleesi.
Yeah.
But his little cousin,
The little ugly
Lady Mormont.
Yes. What an
Him
ugly
and her
girl.
are cousins.
That girl.
Same family, and she's basically the head of that whole family now.
That little girl.
That little girl's the head
That
of that whole
mouthy
family.
little girl.
She's the best.
I don't
She's
like
in
her at
battle
all.
gear, ready to go.
I'm not a fan of her at all.
He was trying to tell her not to fight, and she was like, "Fuck you, Jorah."
Yeah, I don't like her.
How do you not like her?
I don't know. It's something about her face. She's got a
She's
face
a little
like
girl.
Yeah, I know, but it's like
And she's got more balls and bigger balls than you'll ever have.
yeah, I agree. But I still don't like. Maybe that's why I don't like her.
Oh, you're intimidated.
That brings me to another question. What are the crypts? Where are the crypts?
The crypts of Winterfell are below, like at the bottom, at the basement, basically.
So it's underneath. Is that where,
Underneath
Is that like
Winterfell.
where
Where
Tully,
everybody's buried?
That's like where Jon Snow was looking at his
That's
mother.
what him and Daenerys were talking. He was looking at his
Okay.
mother. Every Stark who dies, or who people who live there,
Yeah.
not the Stark family, get buried down there.
Yeah.
That's why they wanted Ned to be buried in the crypts, but Rob Snow, I don't know if they put one up there for him. I don't know if they ever showed it, but he should be down there, but his body's not. Caitlyn Stark's body's not. It's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it is. Sort of like.
But they got
the,
Ned back.
Did they?
Yeah, they gave it, and that's where they have the statue of Ned there, and they were complaining about his face not done right.
Oh, that's right. That's
They
right.
might put all the. I don't. You know what? That's but they did give the body back to Caitlyn. So, or Catelyn.
Catelyn.
Sorry.
Get it right, man. We're not talking about a college.
But that, I mean, as much as that's pretty much everything that happened. It was just a prep for war. They had a lot of good conversations. It was. I keep on saying that I'm not a man of many words, but I thought this was an excellent episode. I loved it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
And next week
Next
I
week is
cannot
gonna be-
fucking wait.
Next week is going to be a lot, right?
It's supposedly they took 55 days to film the battle scene that takes place in next week's episode, and it's supposed to be the biggest battle scene ever on film or TV shows.
Yeah.
And it's an hour, and I think it's in 84 minutes. So that's in 84 minutes. So it's about an hour and 26 minutes,
And also,
which is probably like an hour and 15
regarding
minute show.
next week's episode, it's not going to be out Monday morning because I'm doing a show that night.
Oh, off our recap.
Yeah.
So we'll do the recap.
So we'll have to do
We'll
it
do it
that,
on
that
Monday
next
or something. We'll
that
figure it
Monday.
out.
We'll figure it out. But that next week's episode is going to be
It's going to be bananas. It's
yeah.
going to be absolutely bananas.
BANANAS.
So much stuff is going to go on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
How many people do you think are going to die next week?
Man, I hope it's that one little girl.
I can't believe out of all the people you hate,
I
it's
don't
her.
like her attitude.
You don't like that she's. You know what it is? When you're a little person and nobody thinks you could do it, you got to be a little tougher.
Yeah, I've always been a little person that people thought I couldn't do it. I've always been the little onion that could. You know what my gym teacher used to call me? Little but mighty. And I stuck by that.
Oh well, I'm
So I
your
do-
gym teachers should have never told you that.
Well, I do. I understand that frame of thinking. I just don't like her attitude.
Hey, listen, I get it. Anybody who's got more of spunk and more toughness than you get intimidated by. You have any other questions or stuff that you're clueless about?
No, I don't think so.
You sure?
You know what I realized? I don't like the little tough girl because she's too much like me. And you
She's too much like, shut up. You're anything but that. You got beer muscles right
and
now.
you don't like Therion Greyjoy because he's too much like you. We just don't like our own kind.
Oh, yeah. Dr. fucking Phil over here.
I don't like tiny people with strong will. and and you don't like cowards.
Oh, that's so great. No, it's not it.
Okay.
But everybody,
Thanks for listening.
thanks for listening to our Game of Thrones recap on season 8 episode.
Can we just tell
2.
the people that it's also Easter Sunday, so we were dealing with family all day.
Yeah,
So
I'm a little high and he's a little drunk, and if anything we missed or we
He's a
were
little
stuttering,
country, I'm a little
and
rock and
apparently
roll.
B doesn't like that I actually try and prep for the show and I could go off
Okay,
notes.
I know. I like that you do, but you don't know how to seamlessly go into.
I was
your
getting
notes.
better at that. I'm still learning how to do this, baby.
Okay, all right.
I think I was pretty good today.
Yeah.
But everybody,
You were
thank
great.
you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Listen to the Adult Babies show. It'll be out this week, our weekly episode.
It'll be out regular.
Probably in a couple days, so stay tuned. But everybody, Game of Thrones, let's go and see what happens at the Battle of Winterfell next week.
Thank
You
you.
like that?
It was really good. That was good.
Peace.